In this video presentation, we'll be looking at some of the advanced features in Chains version 9. The object is to create a chain that performs the design cuts through strings command in 12D. We will utilize the selected alignment string name and the new V9 feature called tags. Tags are a way of selecting data or grouping data under a user-defined name. Our project has a MCA1 alignment string and two defined carriageway design strings, MCA1 and MCB1. It is those two design strings model that we wish to tag. Tags are under Project Management Tags or in our design toolbar. Select Tag and Insert. Enter a name for our new tag, MCA1 Cuts Model. Select Update Details. Select Tag Objects in order to tag our data. Models. Select both carriageways, and our tag mode is Models Only, Tag Objects. The tagged objects can be viewed and retrieved under the Objects panel. You can add more data to the tag under Tag Object and remove data from the tag. Update Details and Finish. The tag name is available from any data selection under the filter options. We can now look at our chain. As said before, the chain will perform sectional cuts through the design strings of both carriageways. The left carriageway alignment MCA1 will be the reference string. Under Design, Cross-sections cuts through strings. We're only looking at the panel at this stage, not running the chain. Our tag data is available under Filter. If we scroll to the end, we will be able to select our tag data. MCA1 Cuts. Search mode will be Models. Some fields on the panel will leave as default, and some we will save as parameters. The tag will be our first parameter, the search mode, the section separation, the model for cuts, and of course the selected reference alignment. Let's now look at the chain and the parameter file for this design option. On our design toolbar, select Create Edit Chain. Enter a name for our chain, MCA1 Cut Sections. In this case, we must use the Record option, as the Cuts option is not a function in 12D. Again, Design, Cross-sections, Cuts through strings. Select our data, and our mode, again Models Only. Pick Filter Select. This option will still prompt you to search through the database. Reply Yes. 22 elements, and they are highlighted on your plan view. Enter a model for the cuts. Clean model beforehand, color, and select our reference alignment. Cut, and finish our panel. And stop recording. Write out the file. We now need to go to the drop down and select our parameters. Pick Parameters. We'll enter a file name for our parameter file and pick our parameters. In this case here, we're after the tag option. tag mode, section separation, model for the cut sections, and our reference alignment. Generate the parameter names, set and finish to save to the parameter file. Write the chain. Select the parameter file and open. We may want the select centerline to be first on our list, so we're going to change the name and prefix with a 1 underscore to look up by name only. This would be our new format. Your attention is drawn to this panel on the selection of an alignment string. There is a note, 2 additional text parameters with the suffixes string underscore name and model underscore name will be created to allow you to access the name of the string and the model at chain runtime. In other words, you will be able to use the substitution value string parameter dot string underscore name, string parameter dot model underscore name, where the string parameter in our case is 1 underscore alignment. In order to pass that substitution parameter to our model for cuts, we need to change the model type to a text type. The substituted value 1 underscore alignment dot string underscore name is placed in square brackets and followed by the suffix cut sections. Similarly, the substitution can be done for the tag name. Select Set and write the file. Write and reread the file. Right-click. We have access to the new parameters. We can now run the chain. This is a prompt in the filter for the tag selection. Say yes. The substitution of the alignment string name in the parameter file will allow us to save this chain off in our user library as a standard chain. We can also save the parameter file in the user library and do a save as each time we wish to run the cuts function. It is in the parameter file that the new alignment will be selected and its name passed through to the tag and model selections. Let's add in a command in the chain, redraw views. This chain would probably reside in a much larger chain that would include solving of alignment strings and recalcing of the design functions MCA1 and B1. We need to save the chain off to our user library under a different name. Select Browse. We're going to call the chain skeleton cut through strings. Before we write the file, we need to remove the reference to our parameter file. Select Write. We need to do the same for the parameter file. Save it off into the user library. You can clear any reference to your alignment string before you browse and write out the file. Again, in the format skeleton cuts through strings. And again, write the file. There are 2 ways to access the user library skeleton chain and skeleton parameter file. If we open the skeleton chain from our user library, we will now reinstate the parameter file, but using the one from user library. We'll also tick on the option Prompt for Parameters that we will discuss in a moment. When the chain is run in this format, the parameter file will open and you will be prompted to select your new reference alignment. When selected and saved, the parameter file will close and the chain will continue. We'll now run that chain from our Recalc panel under User Library, Skeleton. The parameter file is then opened and you are prompted for a selection of your new alignment string. Let's select MCA1 again. Once selected, we go Write and Finish. That will close the parameter file and continue with the chain. The prompt for the selection of the tag models and a rerun of the cut sections. In this run, we're going to select MCB1 as our alignment string, so we've created, or have to create, a tag data for MCB1 as well. Again, we run our chain from our user library. We select our new alignment, MCB1. As before, you are prompted to overwrite the user library filter and add in our new MCB1 cut sections. The other option is to leave the library or user library chain with no default parameter file and no prompt for parameters. So when it is run, it will need to have a parameter file saved in your project. Read in the user library parameter file. Here I've cleared the alignment string saved on the previous process for MCB1. And now for each centerline you do in your project, you will save off the parameter file. The user library chain for cuts through strings will be run with the project in an overall chain, possibly called MCA1 design. Inside that chain, again, would be solving alignment strings, rerunning of apply functions, and the user library chain. Insert, select chain, select our user library, skeleton cut through strings, and the parameter file from our project. Write and run the chain. The prompt here is for the tag model search. Yes, and continue with the chain. Both these options show the versatility of chains, parameters, and substitution parameters in version 9.